everybody, it's Gypsy. This is kind of an impromptu video. I was just watching a couple videos on Odyssey. Very interesting. I don't pay all that much attention to the news, I have to admit, so I kind of missed this one. I guess NASA is hiring a Vatican official or a priest or somebody to prepare religious people for, well, one video says the fact, the other one is saying the possibility that, well, there are extraterrestrials here from other planets, and that there is life on other planets. I found this very fascinating, not because I didn't already know this. As many of you know, I'm not an ET physically. I'm an ET soul, which means I don't typically incarnate on planet Earth. There is another planet within the universe that I typically incarnate on. But there are, I guess, yeah, there are others from other planets here now. Okay? But anyways, I guess one of the concerns is that it's going to be hard for some religious people to accept this fact, because one of them brought up, and this is what I don't understand, that the entire book of Genesis would have to be rewritten because of the fact there are other planets that exist with life on them, and intelligent life. My thought on that is I don't understand why. First of all, most of the Bible I don't believe in. If it is not loving, if it is not a loving verse, it is not from our Creator. And there's way too much unloving verses in the Bible. And I don't believe those are from our Creator. I believe those were written by men with agendas. Remember, like I always say, fear equals control. However, there are some things I agree with in the Bible. Now, the stories that are in there, for instance... Oh, yeah, you want to tell it, John, or do you want me to? I could tell it in my own manner. Okay. Okay, so this is my mother's son, oldest child, John Patrick, speaking. One time, when I was still living in the physical realm, before I died, aka before I died, I was talking to my mother. By that time, I had become an atheist, and I was pulling out examples of how the Bible has been misinterpreted, and there are things that could not possibly be true. Now, my mother was not saying much during this conversation. I didn't back then. That's true. You were very quiet and shy, like you said earlier today, in the last video. All right, so you weren't saying much, so I didn't know what you were thinking. But I was going off on, well, on my mother about how she can believe this stuff. What I didn't realize was she didn't believe all of it. Yeah, it's like I do now. Right. Sorry, honey, the cat's going. Yeah, so what I told her, I used the example of Jonah and the whale. Now, Jonah was a full-grown man. Right. Now, they say a large fish. Yeah, there could have been, I guess, back then, a large fish. My mom just mentioned to me quickly in my head. Right. Exactly. Big enough to eat a larger animal. But we're talking about a full-grown man. That doesn't seem possible. And worse yet, yeah, he was thrown out of the stomach of the fish 3 days later. Yeah, fully fine. All intact, right. Obviously metaphorical, a precursor to the story of Jesus, right. That would take us off into another point of onto another video, which we can do another time. Right, I was going to say that Jesus's mythological story was not the first. There were religions previous pagans, right? Very similar stories. In fact, I would like to say, Mother, exactly the same. That's very true, honey. It is. Right. And after he died, this is Michelle again, after John died, we talked about it again. And I did some research myself, and I watched videos on that. It's true. Pre-Christianity, same exact story. And it's okay, everybody. It's okay. It's actually a good thing. Right, Mother. Anyways. Right, so your point is the Bible is more metaphorical. The stories are, right. And that was one of the examples I used. Now you're going to go into the creation story. Right. This is Michelle again. The book of Genesis, talking about creation, is metaphorical. Okay? And again, I talked about this, didn't we? Did we talk about this in a video, John? Yeah, we did, Mom. Right. I might have taken that one down, though. I should put it back up. The Garden of Eden was metaphorical. The entire planet was a Garden of Eden. God did not kick us out. We kicked ourselves out. Because, all right, here we have God created a planet. Every species on this planet was already provided for. Everything anyone who was on this planet needed to survive was already here. And what I say, and then some. We kicked ourselves out of the Garden of Eden. Whoops, Spirit got too close to the camera again. We ruined it. God didn't. And I'm not talking about Eve. How can you blame it on one person? We are the ones who started destroying the planet. Now, how many thousands of years has it been a patriarchal society? So the men did it then, you could say. No, it was everybody. We all started destroying this planet, putting ourselves in a position where we had to work our asses off. Instead of going and foraging our food, we came up with different, more difficult ways. Now, to me, that's what it means. It's a very metaphorical story. However, my point is, with there being extraterrestrials, the Bible was written long before people could grasp the fact that there are other planets with intelligent life on it, or life on it at all. So the creation story only mentions Earth because it's all people could handle. It was written specifically for Earth. So why would they be jumping the gun and assuming that the creation story would need to be rewritten? Every culture on the planet has a creation story. I just read about the Native American one. It's beautiful. I like it better than the Christian one. Yeah. It's much more loving and beautiful. But I think for the Judeo-Christian, it was pointing out how we took away the Garden of Eden we kicked ourselves out. We can bring it back, though, I really believe. But anyways, there's a cat about to swing for my curtains. Give me a minute. Come here, you little stinker. Let go. Let go. My poor curtains, they're all snagged up. Anyways, yeah, so I found it very interesting. They're about to bring this out. Now, one statement in this one article, Miss Ma'am, I am doing a video. She thinks because I'm doing it on the bed, we can play now. What was it? Oh, yeah, it said we can discover life on other planets, maybe not for 100 years, but then again, it could be next week. I may have to put this video on hold. Miss Ma'am, you can come sit nicely with Mommy. You want to do that? You want to come sit with me? We'll play in a minute. I think, well, they could say it right now because I think they already do have evidence of this. They have for a long time. They've just been hiding it from everyone. So many people have had abductions, ET experiences, stuff like that. I was abducted as a preteen. It's so common. I mean, how could you say there is? And like I always said, How could we be so conceited and presumptuous to believe that in this whole big universe, only planet Earth has life on it? How could anyone think that? But I guess what worries me about this is they're already making a big deal about something that really shouldn't be made a big deal about. If I was still a Christian, and I know my outlook has always been different, I'd be like, well, that's great. It makes sense. No, we don't need to rewrite the Bible. Creation story is metaphorical, and yes, it only talks about Earth because of when it was written. You couldn't, write about this time in history. I'm sorry, there's the most gorgeous sunset. The sky is just a gorgeous color. I don't know if I'm going to turn the camera just to see if you guys can see it because it's just so beautiful. I mean, I hope the colors come out. It is just amazing. This is one of our less amazing ones, believe it or not. The sky is always just so gorgeous in the evenings and the mornings. Yeah, I'm sorry. So I was just excited that this is coming out. Finally, it's coming out. Yeah. In fact, I'm going to New Mexico. I'm going to be, like I said in my last video, I'm going to be spending the summer there with a friend. I think I'm going to go over to Roswell. My other friend was there last year. He went to the museum. He said it was great. So I think I want to do that. See if they have my people, my family there. Not right. My people, I mean, for my planet that I usually incarnate on. But I don't think so. That wasn't us. You're right, Mom. That wasn't us. It didn't look like us. I don't know. That's weird. I don't know. I can't remember what we look like on that planet. I was abducted by them. But they kind of wash my memory clean. So I have like bits and pieces of memories. It's very like staggered. And I can't remember. See, I remember talking to them. In fact, yelling at them because I was mad. I thought they may be late getting home from school. But I just somehow know that. That's not us. It's not what we look like. That's very good, Mom. You're very good with explaining how you know things. Right. It's more like people would say, when people say, in my heart I know, what you're saying is your spirit knows. It's spiritual memory. Right, Mom. That's great. Okay, everybody. So, yeah, I just wanted to share that information. If you have any thoughts or know things I don't, whatever, I'm not going to get into it too far. The spirit realm is opting out on talking about it at the moment. Yeah. Put it in the comments below. I mean, it's a fascinating story. I don't know. Have I ever talked about my experience on my YouTube channel? I don't think so. I could talk more about, well, me being an ET soul and what happened when I was a preteen. More memory comes back the older I get about it. So anyways, there's a cat that needs my attention. She wants to play. I made this hanging from the ceiling, and it's just not good enough. Anyways, I'm going to leave you guys with that. Blessed be, and make it a joyful one.